Welcome to a world of unending mysteries, unanswerable questions, and the relentless pursuit of knowledge. Today, we'll delve into the fascinating labyrinth of questions that scientists around the world are still unable to answer. Picture this: every night, when we drift into the land of dreams, what are we truly experiencing? What purpose do these dreams serve? Are they our brain's way of processing information, or are they a defense mechanism against threats? Intriguing, isn't it? Or think about the terrifying specter of cancer. With all the advancements in medicine, we still aren't fully equipped to defeat this monstrous disease. What about the enigma of death? We understand the biological process of dying, but what happens to our consciousness after we die? Is there something beyond this life, or is it just an endless void? And then there's the eternal question: are we truly alone in this vast universe? Despite our efforts in cosmology and quantum physics, we still haven't found definitive proof of extraterrestrial life forms. Where does consciousness originate from? How many species inhabit our planet? Is our reality even real, or is it a mere illusion crafted by our senses? How did life begin? And is time travel, a beloved concept of science fiction, actually possible? Lastly, we ponder over the true extent of our universe. Is it infinite, or does it have an edge we haven't yet discovered? All of this and more will be, well, you'll find out soon enough. Let's get ready to dive deeper into these mysteries, as they show us the limits of human knowledge and the unexplored territories that lie ahead. The wonders of the unknown. Hey there, curiosity explorers. Ready for another dive into the unknown? I'm here today with my fellow investigator, the always insightful Sonia.
Hello, everyone. Ready to embark on another journey of discovery with us? There's always something new to learn, isn't there, Caesar?
Absolutely, Sonia. And hey, explorers, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, The Curiosity Wonderland, to keep up with our daily adventures into the world of the unexplained and the mysterious. A comment, a share, your participation truly makes a difference. Let's keep exploring together. You know, this topic reminds me of something that happened just the other day. I was having this bizarre dream where I was trying to solve a complex puzzle in an ancient library. The more pieces I put together, the more the library transformed around me. It felt so real, so vivid, that when I woke up, I was surprised to find myself in my own bed and not surrounded by dusty, old books.
Coincidentally, I had a similar experience the other night. I found myself in a dream where I was a detective solving a mysterious crime in a futuristic city. Each clue I discovered changed the cityscape around me, and I even remember feeling the cold breeze coming off the neon-lit buildings. It was so immersive that I woke up half expecting to still be in that city.
It's really fascinating how our brains can create these complex and immersive dreamscapes, yet we still don't fully understand the purpose or meaning behind them. Dreams remain one of those great mysteries that science is still trying to unravel.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the power and complexity of the human brain, and the vast number of questions that still remain unanswered. Our curiosity and quest for understanding is what drives us forward.
Speaking of dreams and the mysteries they hold, it reminds me of a few other questions that are still baffling scientists today. One of them is the big question of cancer, a disease that affects so many lives around the world.
Oh yes, the big C. It's one of those diseases we hear about so frequently, yet it still remains so elusive in terms of finding a universal cure.
Precisely. Despite all the advancements in modern medicine, cancer remains one of the deadliest diseases. It takes on many forms, affects different parts of the body, but the hallmark of these diseases is uncontrollable cell replication. This replication is what causes tumors to grow and spread, causing damage to the body and unfortunately, leading to death.
And what's even more challenging is that the causes of DNA damage, which trigger this uncontrollable cell replication, vary from lifestyle factors such as sun damage, tobacco smoking, or exposure to chemicals, to genetic issues. So, it's not just about living a healthy lifestyle, but also about our unique genetic makeup.
That's right. While avoiding certain habits can prevent more than a third of cancers, the myriad variables and unique genetic makeup of humans make some scientists doubt that we'll ever have a cure for every type of cancer. But the good news is that our perspective and treatment options for cancer are constantly evolving.
Absolutely, every year we understand new aspects of the disease, and treatments keep improving. This lessens suffering and improves quality of life. So no matter how daunting the task seems, humanity will keep pushing forward, trying to better understand and fight this disease.
It's a testament to our resilience and curiosity as a species, isn't it? Even when faced with these complex, life-threatening challenges, we refuse to back down. Speaking of life, another question that many of us ponder is what happens when we die. It's the other side of the coin to understanding how life began. This talk of death, of what happens to us after we die, reminds me of a conversation I had with a friend recently. We were discussing the nature of existence, how we come to be, and what happens to us when our time here ends.
That's quite the heavy conversation. Funnily enough, I found myself in a similar discussion just the other week. My cousin and I were pondering the concept of an afterlife, of whether our consciousness simply vanishes once our bodies expire, or if there's something more beyond this life.
It's one of those questions that's been asked time and time again throughout history. And while science has given us a fair understanding of the beginning stages of death, of how the human body shuts down, what happens after the brain ceases activity remains a mystery.
Some people who've had near-death experiences talk about a tunnel of light or a flashback of life events, but these could be due to biological origins. A lack of oxygen, for instance, or intense biochemical fluctuations. It's one of those questions we may never really get an answer to.
That's true, but the unknown doesn't deter our curiosity. In fact, it fuels it. Now, speaking of the unknown, another question that scientists and thinkers alike have pondered over for centuries is whether we're alone in the universe.
The age-old question. Are we the lone intelligent life forms in this vast expanse, or are there others out there, on some distant planet, looking up at the sky and wondering the same thing? Even with our advances in cosmology and quantum physics, we're still in the dark about this.
Absolutely. But think about it, if Earth is the only place harboring life, it makes the universe an unimaginably lonely place. Yet, the sheer number of habitable planets out there suggests that the potential for alien life is massive. That being said, our search for extraterrestrial life isn't just about discovering other intelligent beings. Even finding something as simple as fossilized remains or microscopic bacteria on another planet would be a monumental discovery. It would inch us closer to the truth that perhaps we aren't alone in this universe.
And with the advancements in technology, especially with telescopes, who knows what we might discover in the future. But moving on from the vast expanse of the universe, let's focus on something a little closer to home, the human experience, specifically consciousness.
Consciousness. It's the very essence of our being, our awareness of ourselves and our surroundings. We humans teem with internal dialogues and questions about our purpose in the world. As far as we know, we're the only creatures with this sort of active consciousness.
But what's fascinating, and equally puzzling, is that we don't really know where this consciousness comes from. We know our brains are responsible for controlling our biological functions and helping us think, but how does physical matter give rise to something as intangible as consciousness?
Right, electrical activity in the brain on its own doesn't explain how a physical substance can create a non-physical condition like consciousness. Some religions offer spiritual explanations, viewing consciousness as a divine gift. However, scientists lean more towards biological origins.
Yes, the scientific perspective sees consciousness as the result of complex biological processes that eventually culminate in self-awareness. Even animals, such as dogs, are thought to possess a form of consciousness, although it's different from our own.
And speaking of different forms of life, it brings us to another intriguing question: how many species are there on Earth? It's a question that's been asked for centuries, and we've developed systems to classify and keep track of species. Yet, given the sheer diversity of life on our planet, it's a question we might never fully answer. So, we've still only documented around 1.5 million species, which makes up about 15% of the total estimated number of species on Earth.
That leaves a lot of organisms still undiscovered or undescribed, especially species like fungi, right?
Yes, you've hit the nail on the head. We've only described maybe 10% of fungi. But it's not like we're not trying. For example, with mammals, we've done quite well, having logged most of them.
So, all these numbers, they're just estimates?
Exactly, they're essentially educated guesses. But perhaps more worrying is that species seem to be disappearing faster than we can discover them. It's the fastest rate of extinction since the dinosaurs disappeared 65 million years ago.
That's concerning. If other creatures are disappearing, we humans could be next. But let's shift gears a little bit. Is reality real?
Well, that's quite a philosophical question. Some argue that our perceptions may not tell the whole story, that the people and things in our lives could be illusions.
Like we're living in a Matrix-style reality?
Yes, it's a concept some people entertain. The deeper we delve into physics, the more complex and strange our universe seems. We keep discovering new particles and fundamental forces that drive our world, suggesting there might be dimensions we'll never directly experience.
So, in essence, we may never really understand the nature of reality?
It seems that way. Reality might always be an abstraction that we can't quite pin down. And speaking of complex mysteries, another one is how life began in the first place. How did a mass of cells become a living, reproducing organism? That's the question. So, about the origin of life, we don't exactly know. There are many theories, including the enticing one where aliens might have dropped off a few microbes on our planet.
That sounds like a plot from a science fiction movie. But I guess in the absence of concrete evidence, every theory is as valid as the next.
Indeed. Some scientists think life is a natural progression for planets with the right ingredients, elements like carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. With the right spark, like, say, a bolt of lightning, these elements could develop into the basic building blocks of life.
So, it's a combination of the right elements and the right conditions?
That's one theory. Yet, how those non-living parts assembled themselves into actual living creatures is still a mystery. We're still striving to understand the characteristics that define life and the principles of physics that make life possible.
I suppose that's what makes the field of science so fascinating. There's always more to learn. But let's jump from the origins of life to something even more fantastical: time travel.
Ah, the concept of time travel, a favorite of science fiction. Yet, some theoretical physicists suggest it could be possible.
Possible? How?
One possibility is through the use of wormholes, bridges in the fabric of spacetime that could theoretically allow travel through both space and time. If you could enter a wormhole, you might emerge on the other side of the galaxy at a different point in time.
And other possibilities?
Another way might be by traveling at the speed of light, which would slow down time for you relative to the world you leave behind. There's also the idea of orbiting massive black holes which slow down time due to their immense gravitational pull. Or using cosmic strings, hypothetical one-dimensional defects in the universe, to navigate time. Manipulating the power of cosmic strings might grant us the ability to time travel. But even if we could figure out the science, dealing with time paradoxes could make time travel dangerous, or even impossible.
So until we resolve those paradoxes, time travel remains in the realm of science fiction?
Exactly. But let's turn our attention to a question of a different scale: is the universe truly infinite?
When I look up at the stars, the universe certainly seems infinite. But I guess appearances can be deceiving.
Very true. Science doesn't yet have a definite answer. Some researchers, after analyzing maps generated by observations made with a super powerful telescope in New Mexico, suggest that the universe has an exceedingly flat structure.
So, if the universe is flat, does that mean it's infinite?
It's hard to say. The current thought is that the universe is constantly expanding faster than the speed of light due to the Big Bang. Since we can't see beyond the speed of light, we may never know if there's an edge to the universe.
I guess that's both frustrating and fascinating. It seems like there are so many mysteries about our existence that we may never fully understand.
Indeed, whether pondering the size of the universe or the origins of life on Earth, we're surrounded by bewildering phenomena that we can't explain, but which form an essential part of the human experience. It's fascinating to think about how our view of ourselves evolves over time. We may look back on our ancestors and think of them as primitive, but the same will likely be said about us by future generations.
True. In 100 years, our current state of knowledge might seem quite basic.
Exactly. Our understanding of the world, our science, and our knowledge are constantly evolving. In 20 or 50 years, the mysteries we're discussing today could be solved.
And yet, there may be some mysteries that still remain unsolved, right?
That's a possibility. Some questions might stand the test of time, remaining as fascinating and elusive as they are now.
That's humbling and exciting at the same time. What an incredible journey of discovery we are all part of.
Absolutely. And while that journey might sometimes leave us with more questions than answers, it's the pursuit of these answers that drives us forward, that fuels our curiosity and shapes our human experience. Among the many questions, there's one that keeps scientists scratching their heads: how many species are there on Earth?
That must be hard to determine with new species being discovered all the time.
Exactly. The continuous process of discovery and classification makes it a moving target.
And what about the mysteries of consciousness?
It's been described as being a lot like making coffee, a complex process with many variables.
So, it's not just the simple fact of being awake and aware?
No, it's much more than that. It involves a network of interactions that result in our sense of self and awareness.
It makes me wonder about life and death. What happens when we die?
Well, that's another unanswerable question. There are theories and beliefs, but nothing concrete.
So much mystery in life, and in death too, it seems.
Yes, it reminds us that we still have so much to learn. Our existence is filled with marvels and mysteries waiting to be solved. As we probe deeper into these mysteries, some questions take on a more philosophical shape. For instance, is our reality actually real?
That's a mind-boggling question. How can we even begin to answer that?
Scientists are indeed grappling with this, exploring theories and conducting studies to find an answer.
And what about life? How did it start on Earth?
This is probably one of Earth's greatest mysteries. There are hypotheses about the primordial soup and the combination of elements, but no definitive answer.
What about the future of diseases, like cancer? Are we getting closer to a cure?
The research is promising, and we're certainly moving closer to more effective treatments. But a universal cure for all types of cancer remains elusive.
It's sobering to think about the extinction of animal species as well.
Yes, it's a serious issue. Human activities are accelerating the rate of extinction, leading some to term it the sixth great extinction.
It's clear that we carry a significant responsibility for the health of our planet.
Indeed, the mysteries we're discussing aren't just abstract puzzles. They're crucial for understanding our world, our existence, and the impact we have on our environment. To further stretch our imagination, some theorists speculate that our universe might actually be a kind of virtual reality.
Like we're all in some giant video game? That's wild.
It certainly sounds like science fiction, but there are actual scientific arguments supporting this theory.
Speaking of science fiction, what about time travel? Is that possible?
Time travel is a fascinating concept, and it's been a favorite topic in sci-fi literature and movies. Some theories suggest it could be possible under specific conditions in the realm of quantum physics.
It's amazing how much we have yet to discover and understand.
Yes, it's a testament to the infinite potential of human curiosity and the endless mysteries our universe holds. But no matter where our quest for knowledge leads us, it's important to remember that these mysteries make life the intriguing journey that it is. Today, we've delved into some of the greatest scientific mysteries that continue to baffle us. From the enigma of our dreams, the elusive cure for cancer, the mystery of consciousness after death, to the question of whether we're alone in the universe, and let's not forget about the very nature of reality and the origin of life itself. It's been an enlightening journey, to say the least, reminding us that sometimes, the more we know, the more we realize we don't know.
The beauty of endless curiosity. We hope this episode has ignited that spark in you too. If you enjoyed our journey into the unknown, give us a big thumbs up, drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share this episode with your friends. Let's keep the conversation going.
Remember, every mystery is a door waiting to be unlocked, and who knows what we might discover on the other side. Until next time, stay curious.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you in the next episode of Curiosity Wonderland. Goodbye for now.
The fascinating insights we discussed today came from an article titled 10 Scientific Questions We Can't Answer Yet by Nathan Chandler, published on HowStuffWorks.com on October 20, 2023. You can find the full URL in our video description if you're keen to explore further. Now, signing off.